Hi everybody, Friday afternoon, and welcome to Moonshiner's Academy. Today we're going to talk about charging up a still. And what do we mean by charging a still? That means emptying out the old stillage or the old remnants of the last distilling run. It's still left in the barrel. Remember, we captured 2.5 gallons of good stuff there. But that meant we had 23.5 gallons of wastage to be removed. Some of it, as you know, we always save for backset, but the first order business will be removing that. I've already checked the ferment. It's looking good here. I used the hydrometer here. All looking good. Had not the best ferment in the world, not the worst one either. And the other tools we're going to need today are some transfer hose. Those of you who have been with me for a couple years will know we used to have the barrels inside of the shack there, but it's kind of made a mess of stuff. Now I like to do the fermenting outside. The distiller's beer here. Hook the heater up, it's a lot easier to do. And I also have, in the old days when we had the small still, the 2.5 gallon, the 5 gallon job, we didn't need a transfer pump. Now you can see inside, I'm starting to draw off. I've removed the temperature gauge up here so I don't create a vacuum. The fluids flow out faster if you let some air get into the top. And then we'll pull the valve here. And what I'm doing now is just collecting the old stillage, and I can just dispose of that basically on the back of the property. It's all good. It's a natural product, and the plants that love acid love that, so that works out real good. What we also have to do, remember when we're doing a run, we also need to put in some stuff from the last time, right? We don't have any 4 shots because I burned them up. We have 3 jars of repitch that are going to go in here. And repitch is the stuff that didn't come through real clean or real good taste on last 2 weeks ago when we did a run, so we can actually repitch or put that back again in the still, and that will clean up real good and come in. You always have to remember to add our repitch, our heads and our tails, and that cleans up good. Don't ever add back the 4 shots, because that's really the stuff that's that can have toxics in it and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to finish this and then we'll get to charging the still. I've gone ahead and I drained off all the backset out of there now. And remember, we'll be generating new backset after this run, so I don't have to worry about saving any of it. I'll have plenty the next time I do a new ferment on the grains there. So what I want to do now is add back my tails that were left over from the last run. And remember, the tails are end of the run. Really smells like hell. It smells like dirty socks that have been rolled in dog shit. So, not the nicest smell in the world. But that's why people say, oh, how do I know tails when the distilling run, when I've captured all the good stuff? Well, it's like sweaty gym socks that have a turd inside of them. So, I'm going to go ahead and add now I'm adding we got a jar of the heads, which was the stuff after the 4 shots. It wasn't the best tasting stuff, but this will help clean that up for this run. And now we're going to add our 2 jars of tails here. Remember, by repitching it or putting back in again, it gives you a chance to really clean it up and improve the taste and quality of it. Now you know why I have a tile floor here with a little bit of drippage that's sealed. Really, really nice. A wood floor would just be wrecked in here unless it was one of those industrial wood floors. So that's all in. Now what I need to do now, that's all closed. All the repitch is in. I want to go outside and set up the transfer hose and get this stuff put in. Okay, hang with me. Welcome back. Okay, we got it set up. I've got the hose, the transfer hose, and we use a really good quality rubber hose, and I really flush it out good every time, but I've got to make sure I've got this really down far. First couple times I did this, I didn't have this down far enough, and I'm pumping away and the floor is just filling up with ferment, so that was crazy. I want to kind of keep this in good shape, right? So I've got the transfer hose set up here, and I've also got the pump set up. It's in there, and I use a GFI outlet, so there's no risk of electrocution or anything like that with the fluids. Any type of short or fault develops, that thing is just going to click and cut the power immediately. So I'll set this camera on the tripod, and I'll start the transfer pump, and periodically I'll go inside and I'll check the level by eyeball by looking down the fill inlet on the top of the pot there. Pump is kind of noisy, but it saves a hell of a lot of time. So it's got 2 speeds, high and low. So in the beginning I feel confident. I run it on high and keep it off the grain bed on the bottom. Make sure it's raised up in the fluid. You don't want to be sucking grains up in there. It doesn't take long at all. It maybe takes 5 to 8 minutes to fill up that pot. That's on low speed. I'll run in and take a quick look. And I can hear it filling up real good, so awesome. That's the way we do it. Charging is still. The total moonshining experience. It's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of work for not a hell of a lot of product. And I got to throw this disclaimer in too. Everything, you don't assume what you see here is actual, like they say in Moonshiners, right? Things are dramatized for the sake of entertainment value. Okay, do not assume this is alcohol that you're seeing here. Okay, it could be staged for your amusement here. Okay. Like I'm going to do all this to just, right? So let me keep going here. Now go inside and take a look in there, huh? Let's disconnect here. See, it might be bright enough we can see down there. I don't know where in the heck the flashlight went. I guess last time I was using the light on the camera, the phone, which you really can't see there, but we're still pretty far down. We still got quite a bit of room in there. Plus I ferment about 26 gallons with grains and everything, so it usually works out pretty good. So let me finish the transfer. All right, I did manage to find the light. I don't know as you'll be able to see down there, but we got a little bit more to go down there. I know it's lousy. I got to find that LED light, but anyway, I tried, guys. I tried. Okay, yeah, I know we're not in a factory setting. We're not down in Kentucky or Tennessee at the big boy houses and stuff. But even so, it's important to try to maintain cleanliness and wash things out when you're done. And I've got the transfer hose here, and as I usually do, I run some well water through that. Just to try to get all that ferment out of it until she's running clean, which she is. I also like to hit the unplug. Make sure you unplug it. Safety first, and then I like to hit the transfer pump here. Wash that off too, up in the bottom and all that. Knock it out in case there are any grains in there, which there usually are. So then this is ready to be put away, and I'll coil up the hose and put that away too. And then we'll talk about a few other things that have to be done when we're properly charging a still in making moonshine out here. So stick with me. We got charging up the still, and what I need to do now is remove what's called the parrot here. This collects the fluids here, the alcohols and the distillate, And as it rises up, the proofometer goes up and down. You've seen before to check the proofage. And we generally collect tails down to about 60 proof or so. I know you're thinking like, whoa, that's a lot of wastage in there. Actually, it's not. You know, we repitch a lot, and it's just bad tasting stuff when you get down to these low alcohols and stuff. But it reaches a certain level, and then it comes out and drips down into our collection. Chooches here are mason jars. So what I need to do now is remove this and tip that out. Carefully remove. I can't tell you how many these things we've gone through over the years. I need to carefully sit that in there, and then I'm going to remove this chooch and drain it, and then reinstall it. I don't generally pour this this alcohol from the carrot back in again once I've taken it off. You know, it's not, because typically in a week or so this will get a bluish haze because of the copper, the green azurite in here. As you see, we'll try to be a little careful tipping that out first. It probably hasn't been in there long enough to collect the blue. Try to see. Can't be perfect here. I have to pour into 2 jars at one time. Pardon me. And you can see a slightly, a lot of crap on that in the bottom of that. You may be able to see. And that's not something that I want running through the still for sure. So I'll tighten that up. I'll make sure the angle's good here to move the catch table over here with the pot. And as you know, we usually stick a jar under here on top of the pot and catch. So I'll tighten that down. And I'll reinstall, pop the proofometer back, and this is an amazing little device that floats up and down according to the proof, because remember, the higher the alcohols, the lower this is, the less dense it is, and the more this is going to sink down. The more watery or more craps in there that come in, the higher this is going to float. So I want to carefully take a finger and just lower that down very gently. Well, guess what? We got the thermometer reinstalled here. I consider us all charged up and ready to go. I will clean the glass for tomorrow. We're in our catch jars. We have all of the backset in here. Not backset, but we have the ferment in here. And we have some of the heads and tails. I'm cleaning that up in this run. So we should get at least 2 gallons out of here tomorrow. So what remains for me to do is come out around 7 o'clock, flip on the still, start getting her up to temperature, and you will enjoy the festivities as another moonshining stilling day gets underway as we fire up the column still here and have some fun. So thanks for being with me today as I showed you how we properly charge the still with the distiller's beer, as well as the force, well, I don't put the 4 shots, as well as the heads and the tails to let them clean up. So hopefully we'll get 2.5 gallons of product. Not the best ferment, not the worst either. I go by taste, and I give this one about an 80, 82. So last week was about a 90, 95. So we will see. Thanks for being with me on this edition of Moonshiners.